Hi everyone, I'm James Dean, CEO and founder of HRC Online, and this is an assessment review for the brand new CIPD assessment 5HR03, which is reward and performance. It's reward for performance and contribution. And it's the new June 2024 assessment. So this is probably going to be live for the next 2 years. So this won't change until June 2026, which feels ages away. So I'm going to break this unit down into its component parts, into the actions that are within there, and just sort of go through some of our key things to keep an eye on to help you be successful within this unit. We're just going to break down the questions that are in the CIPD assessment to really sort of help you get the most out of the unit and studying as well. As always, CIPD have preparation for the task. At the start of your assignment, you're encouraged to plan your assessment work with your assessor where appropriate. Agree milestones. So I'm going to start this again. At the start of your assignment, you're encouraged to plan your assessment work with your assessor where appropriate, agree milestones so that you can help and monitor your progress. Refer the indicative content in the unit guide to support your evidence. Your training provider should have a lot of indicative content to sort of guide you through the unit, guide you through the study, and help you get the most out of it. But there is some in the CIPD assessment cover. It's got some recommended content for you to review as well. Pay attention to how the evidence is presented. Remember, you are working for a people practice team. That means no text speak, no emojis, no craziness. This is a formal presentation, potentially going up to board level. Just ensure that what you're putting across is representing HR as a department and things like that. So that just basically means keep everything as professional as it possibly can be, and ensure that evidence gathered for this assessment remains your own work. You can do this. There is no need to try and steal, borrow, chop change. You don't want it hanging over your head. You can do this together. We will work through this assessment together, and you'll feel infinitely better, I promise. You can do the things that are within this video. You will pass this unit. CIPD have made this unit clearer for me, and they've made it easier to get through as in terms of its individualized questions. I think it's gone from 11 AC down to 10, so they've dropped a question in this new update. But I also think that they've made the questions a whole lot clearer and simpler to go through. So the task you have here is a report, so you're asked to put together a report, and the scenario is Eco Insulate UK is a medium-sized private sector organisation that manufactures eco-friendly thermal insulation in the UK. Their managing director, in brackets MD, who started the company in the mid-1970s, has set up a meeting with you to discuss concerns regarding increased turnover of skilled and non-skilled employees. During the meeting, you are made aware that there is no incentive scheme in operation and that there is an expected level of performance broadly related to the notion of measured day work. Standard times exist and maintained by the Financial Administration Department. Most employees receive 28 days holiday per year. All employees are included in a non-contributory pension scheme. However, it's generally known that there are special schemes that operate for senior staff only. The MD is aware that the overall culture and performance for the company is quite negative, and that it's time to look at offering forms of reward, incentive, benefits, and recognition to stimulate positive change. In your capacity as reward specialist practitioner, he asks you to put together a report for senior management that will give them knowledge and understanding of the principles and components of reward and pay, including how these might influence organizational, psychological, and cultural factors. In addition, he would also like them to gain an understanding of job evaluation and market rates. Seems like a pretty decent MD, or if he's had it since the 1970s and is only just making change now, maybe not. It's up to you, but this is just a bit of a scenario to just sort of help put you in the mindset, put you in the Zen place. I am a reward specialist. I am going to help this organization change its organizational culture through reward and recognition. Your evidence must consist of the following: a briefing paper set out to written 10 responses, instructed the above, be approximately 3,900 words in total. Refer to the CIPD word count policy. This is approximately 390 words per question. This is 390 words per question. CIPD say that you can go 10% under, 10% over. Word either way, and you're out. Think of it like play your counter right. So always try and shoot for around about 390 words per question. I think this is a pretty good even unit. So I think pretty much you can get 390 words per question if you do limit yourself. I don't think there's any really chunky questions where you got to throw some extra words at them. So it's going to be good from that perspective. But let's go into it. Questions 1 to 3. Explain the principles of reward and its importance to organizational culture, performance, and management. Assess the contribution to extrinsic and intrinsic rewards to improving employee contribution sustained through organizational performance. Explain the differences between types of grade and pay structure. I have no idea what's going on with my my ability to talk. So if we do manage to make it through this, please make sure you leave a like and you subscribe to the channel. We do try and do these videos to help you, even if I can't seem to say the words that are written on paper. Intrinsic reward, extrinsic. That's the word I can't say. I think that's the one that's struggled me up. So anyway, breaking these questions down into the component parts. Explain, assess, explain. Verb level, critical. If you don't address the verb level, you fail the question. Verb level is one of the critical things when it comes to CIPD. Make sure that you explain the principles of reward and its importance to organizational culture and performance management. Now, principles. CIPD love to do something which I refer to as a cheeky S. They add an S at the end of things so that you need to do multiples. Principles of reward means that it's looking for more than one principle. So when you explain the principles, that means you've got action point 1, the principle 1, action point 2, principle 2 as a minimum. And its importance, so in principle 1, it is important for organizational culture and performance management. So if reward principle 1 is X, why is it important to organizational culture and performance management? Reward principle 2, its importance to organizational culture and performance. Assess the contribution of extrinsic and intrinsic rewards, improving employee contribution and sustained organizational performance. Assess. So you're looking at it from both sides. What's good, what's bad of both types of reward. I'm not saying it again because I can't seem to say it. Improving employee contribution and sustained organizational performance. A bit like explain the principles, assess is just looking at the good and bad. So except this, you've got extrinsic and intrinsic reward. Explain different types of grade and pay structure. So what is the differences between pay grade? What is the differences between pay structures? And that's all it's asking you to do. It's a really simple question, that one. You might want to save yourself a few words because you could probably answer that quite easily. Maybe throw a couple at the assess the contribution because that's quite a meaty question. But again, you should be able to get all these done in about 390 words. Make sure you break the question down and you've got a plan for these questions because, explain the differences, cheeky S. So again, you can't just say this is what types of grade is, this is what pay structures is, bosh, done. Differences, cheeky S, multiple, minimum 2, ideally 3 probably on different pay structures, 100 words per difference. Bosh, you're cruising your way through this question. Cruising your way through. But again, these are really helpful questions because these are questions that you're probably going to get asked within your workforce when they're trying to understand different things. And the fact that you're doing research and you're bringing up evidence and you're bringing up statistics and data and proof always helps. One of the things I always say with these questions is prove it. Explain the differences, prove it. What is the difference? Show me some data, show me some stats, show me some numbers. That is research evidence, and you'll find a lot of the research evidence and numbers on CIPD's website and stuff like that. Especially the fact sheets, the reward fact sheets have a bucket load of information on. So questions 4 to 7, explain how contingent rewards can impact individual, team and organizational performance. Explain the merits of different types of benefits offered by organizations. Explain the merits of different types of recognition schemes offered by organizations. Assess the business context of the reward environment. Now, before I give you the breakdowns of those, we're launching something which is called CIPD Bitesize. If you're a HRC online learner, you will gain access to this immediately when you study one of these new units, which is where we will do a video per AC. We'll break down every single AC into its action points. So these are the subheadings that you should write for each of them. We'll break down the verb to tell you exactly what you should be doing for the verb. And then we will also sort of give you some indicative content for you to go off and read and reference and find information from so that you can create your answer and you can get through the question as quickly as possible. If you're not a HRC online learner, these bite size will be made available on our website. You can buy particular videos available. I would only recommend buying these videos if you've referred on something, if you're on your second or third submission and you're struggling and you want some advice and guidance. That is when I would buy the bite size. Otherwise, I would try to work with the center that you're currently working with. But if you do hit a wall, if you are struggling, CIPD Bitesize is there to sort of help guide you through the structure and the process as it is. Anyway, back to the question. Questions 47. Explain how contingent rewards can impact individual, team, and organizational performance. Contingent rewards. So again, plural, sneaky S, rewards, can impact. So pick a contingent reward. How does it impact the individual, team, and organization performance? Explain the merits. Explain the merits. This is a little bit of a sneaky one for me. Merit, the quality of being particularly good or noteworthy, especially as so deserve praise or reward. So if you don't explain what is good, explain what is good about different types of benefits offered by organizations. Explain what is good about different types of recognition schemes offered by organizations. Merits is like a cheeky second verb. This doesn't appear anywhere else within the CIPD syllabus. This is something new for this particular unit. So explain the merits. So explain what is good, noteworthy, deserve praise and recognition. Explain that about those, as opposed to explain different types. It's asking you to focus on the positive. And that's for both AC 2.3 and 2.4. It's asking you to keep a positive mindset in place. So it's not wanting the negative. It's not asking you for the negative. It's asking you for what is particularly good, worthy, noteworthy, available for praise. It's a little bit of a cheeky one. So AC 2.3 and 2.4, if you're writing, okay, well, this is different types and this is what's good and this is what's bad. What is bad is not going to get you any marks. It's all about what's good, because that's what the merits are. Assess the business context of the reward environment. So assess, again, looking at what is good and what is bad, business context of the reward environment. So what's good about reward, what's bad about reward, what is the context for it for business. Again, prove it, data, what is good, what is bad. This costs businesses more money. This is what happens if you don't run reward correctly, where everyone just expects it, blah, 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 blah. So again, building it from a business context perspective, that's a really good sort of way. So if someone was to come to you in your role as HR and go, should we introduce a bonus scheme? Should we introduce a commission scheme? You can go, well, these are the benefits of the commission scheme. These are potential negatives. These are the benefits of the bonus scheme. These are the potential negatives. And you can explain it in a holistic way. That's what they're trying to do with this. And that's what I really like about this particular unit. It does get you thinking about how you can help organizations achieve more through reward, as opposed to just going, give everyone more money. There's a pro and con. It's asking you to do a full bit of research on this. Questions 8 to 10. Evaluate the most appropriate ways in which benchmarking data can be gathered and measured to develop insights. Explain approaches to job evaluation. Explain legislative. I was never going to be able to say that with the fact that I couldn't say intrinsic earlier, or extrinsic. Explain the legislative requirements that impact reward practice. Do you know what? I'm going to leave it in because I've made it this far. You've made it this far. I feel like I should just leave it in because I can't pronounce it, and we'll just see what other words I can't pronounce as we go through. So if we break those down, evaluate pros and cons, most appropriate ways in which benchmarking data can be gathered and measured to develop insights. No cheeky S in this. Evaluate is still looking for a full view, the pros and cons, most appropriate ways. You could say ways is multiple, but again, the most appropriate is the most important thing. Benchmarking data gathered. Explain approaches, cheeky S, approaches to job evaluation. Explain requirements that impact reward practice. So again, that's employment law. These are the sorts of things that you can and can't do. These are the sorts of things that you should and shouldn't do. These are the sorts of things that you should be doing. Again, you can look at ACAS, you can look at CIPD. There's a whole range of resources that can help you with that. But just make sure that you address the verb. Most common error is not answering the question at the verb level. Make sure that you use within this question, especially within the reward one, data, stats, information, research, a citation and reference at every point that you're having, data, statistics. CIPD found in 2024 nothing more than earlier. What are we on? June 2024, nothing before 2022. Because otherwise that's out of date. You know, this is real world practice for the modern world. Data, stats. Look at all that. That's what's going to help you getting there through. Now, if for whatever reason you are struggling, you have hit a brick wall, you're watching this and you're like, oh, I still don't get it, James. We do offer CIPD Bitesize, where we do a video per AC. That'll be coming live for non-HRC students in October, so that you can gain access to our insights, our views, our indicative content, our example, our hypothetical example, where we guide you through it in sort of a fictitious scenario situation, so that you can sort of understand the essence of the question. These will be coming out in October. We'll be making it available on the HRC Online website. If you do have any questions, if there is anything within this particular module that you're struggling with, you're not making sense, obviously you can ask a question in the comment in the video. We will respond to all the comments in terms of what people need help with and stuff like that. We want you to be successful in your CIPD study journey. Hopefully this has been helpful in helping you understand sort of how the questions are put together. I quite like this update. I think it's very practical, and I think it's very data orientated. It's very stats orientated, which is kind of my preference when it comes to evidence-based HR practice. And I think as long as you go through every question, you go, okay, well, break it down into its component parts, you create a subheading, you build an answer plan, I think you'll be absolutely fine. But best of luck in your studies. If you need anything, obviously you can reach out to us. We have Bitesize going live in October. If you are a HLC on learner, you can obviously reach out to your learning mentor, and they can guide you through anything. Please make sure that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.